Hey everyone, welcome back to Homegrown Passion. We have had one crazy week. You know, that always happens when the temperature drops really low. The motor went out on the oil and gas well, had problems with our 93 efficient heaters. We had to fire up the wood burner, we had to change set points. There were so many different things going on, so stay tuned to see what happened. So the main problem we had this week was with the oil well. Noticed that the gas pressure was going down because it's usually around 300 pounds and it was going down below 100 and we're like, uh-oh, something's going on. And the well is supposed to come on a couple times during the day for just a short amount of time, so a lot of times we don't even see it running. So we first thought that something had gone on with the timer. It wasn't making the motor come on and pumping the well, because you got to pump the well a little bit to get the oil off, to let the gas out, back and forth. It's a happy medium you got to get. So Doug went and checked everything, thought it was a timer, like I said, and checked all the points and everything, and power was getting everywhere to the motor. So it was something wrong with this motor. The thing is, I think, 42 years old. It's a specialized motor to come back to the well because we don't have three-phase here, which is mostly for commercial applications, and you need a big 10 horsepower motor back there to run that jack, with the well, because it's pretty heavy. So it's a specialized motor, so we had to pull it off, and the thing weighed, I bet you, 200 and some pounds. So we had to use the skid steer, get it off, and put it onto a pallet, drive it up to the house, put it into the van, and then take it to a repair shop. Okay, we have the motor from the oil well loaded up here in the van. It's an older motor, but they're confident that they'll be able to rebuild it, and we should be able to put it back on the oil well hopefully in a couple days and get it back up running. So we dropped the motor off yesterday before noon, and the gentleman there at the repair shop said he wouldn't be able to get to it till this morning and give us an idea of what was going on. So about 10 o'clock this morning the phone rings, and he said the bearing was bad, a couple of the armature was bad. I'm not sure of all the pieces part of electric motors, but there was a bunch of different things that were wrong with it, and it's going to be over $2,500 to fix it. But we have no choice. We need this motor to get the well going, so we said go ahead and get it repaired for us. So it's going to take a week to get the motor rebuilt. So in the meantime, we're going to be cutting wood and firing up the wood burner every day and keeping it stoked 24/7. So there's our outdoor boiler system. So you've probably seen these red pipes in here, and this is where the water transfers from the boiler into the control tunnel here, and the heat coming off of these guys is amazing. I think it's 77 degrees in here. It feels so good. So the water comes in and goes to a heat exchanger underneath the jet fan, which I'll show you in a little bit here, and then it comes back out, goes to the wood burner, gets heated back up again, and circles and comes back around. And another nice thing with this is I have to do a nutrient change tonight, and we have the city water, so it's pretty cold. So Doug had made a heat exchanger here for the water to flow through to heat up before it goes out to the greenhouse back to my nutrient tank, so I don't shock my plants with 45-degree water. I can heat it up to 60 degrees is what the temperature is in there, so it makes a big difference. So these pipes, like I said, the heat coming off of them, you can't even touch them because we have the temperature set on the outdoor boiler at 180 degrees, and it really keeps it even at that temperature, so it's just like amazingly hot. So now you're probably wondering how we get the heat into the greenhouse. So follow me out here. And up above my head here, it's like a radiator. It's a heat exchanger, so the hot water's always flowing through that exchanger there, and when it calls for the heat to come on, this fan underneath comes on and pushes the hot air up into the jet fan and down through the whole greenhouse, just like the two heaters on either side here do the same concept. The heat goes into the jet fan and gets pushed down there. So Doug came up with a way to hang this underneath here, and has it programmed into our iGrow system there, so when it calls for heat too, this guy will come on and heat up the greenhouse. So since I have a 2-bay greenhouse, each bay has its own heat exchanger along with the other 2 furnaces we have up there. And you're probably noticing back here we had an issue with our 93 efficient heaters because there still is a little bit of gas coming off the well, so they still are working. But with it being so cold, the condensation line was freezing and they were going off. So we did a quick fix here, and Doug cut the line, and the condensation is just dripping into a bucket here. He's actually going to go get some fittings to fix this and have it go back outside. to have it drip at a little bit easier slope so it doesn't freeze on us. But yeah, it kind of made a mess because I forgot to come back and empty the bucket out this morning, so it overflowed a little bit, but it kept the heaters on. So we have a lot of redundant heating systems here in the head house because you never know what's going to happen with the well. And the main one that we have here is another heat exchanger from the outdoor boiler, and it's on a thermostat. So I usually set it about 55 or 50 just to make sure that if the temperature drops in here, if the gas heater goes out that we have in the other corner, that this will kick on. And then if something happens with this, we also have a mini split, and we have a couple electric baseboard heaters. So we're always covered here in the head house because this is where all the plumbing comes in, and we don't want this to freeze. We have the same system up at our house. We have the natural gas heaters, we have the outdoor boiler, we have electric, and both places have the natural gas generator for electricity. We do have another water source because there's springs all over the property here, and we have our cattle and our chickens, so this way we can be self-sufficient. So we really haven't showed you guys how we control the environmentals in the greenhouse. And since we're in this little bit of a crisis here, we went ahead and lowered all of our set points, because this controls all of our heating systems and our fans, and you set different set points for the temperatures. So it was at 75 degrees for our high temperature. We lowered that down to 65 to conserve the energy. Tomato plants aren't that happy, but once everything gets back up and running, we'll boost it back up to 75 and they'll be happy campers again. With all the drastic temperature changes that we've had, I have been checking my phone constantly with my ambient weather system because it tells me what the temperature is here in the greenhouse and the head house. And I just want to make sure it does not go below freezing. So all night long, I'm checking it, and during the day when I'm not back here, I'm checking it. But the good thing is when it is so cold like that, you don't get much cloud cover and the sun comes out, and it really makes the reds pop on this red cloud. I just looked down here at the tomatoes, and I see there's a couple of tomatoes here that need to come off, so I think I'm going to go ahead and get these harvested really quickly. Oops. And I also noticed over there that there's some cucumbers, so I better go get those off the plants too. Well, I got cucumbers here to harvest. These guys are kind of hiding in here. Let's see if I can get these off here. That's a nice one. See, look at that. Perfect. And there's another one up here. Get them off of here without hurting anybody. Here we go. I got a few more of these to harvest down through here, and I got some peppers to harvest, so I better get working because I got a few more things to do outside. Get ready for tonight. Well, I better get all my chores done, so I'm going to end the video here. And after I'm done in here, I'm going to go outside and get us ready for the cold weather tonight, and I think they're calling for snow. Oh boy. So like always, please leave me questions, comments, and suggestions down below, and we'll see you guys next time.